When it comes to employment, the discrimination on people with disabilities is evident. We would love to see a sense of total equality be reached in all aspects of the workforce for these individuals. We think tailoring jobs specific to an individual's strength can make a positive impact. Rather than focusing on what these individuals cannot do to give them jobs, we need to focus on what they can do to fit the employment selection. This way, employers have no excuse to pay them at unbelievably low rates while individuals thrive in the workplace.
The Americans with Disabilities Act was signed by President George H. W. Bush on July 26, 1990. As a result of this landmark legislation, communities and workplaces across the nation have become more inclusive and welcoming for America's nearly 40 million people with disabilities. Despite the ADA's importance, however, many Americans are unfamiliar with the events that led to its passage. Inspired by the civil rights and anti-war movements of the 1960s and the feminist movement of the 1970s, disability leaders joined forces and took action, holding sit-ins in federal buildings, blocking inaccessible buses from moving, drafting legislation, and protesting in the streets. Unlike the broader movements that preceded it, the disability rights movement had its own heroes and champions: Ed Roberts, Jeannie Laurie, and Justin Dart, to name a few. The American with Disabilities Act prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities and guarantees equal opportunities for individuals with disabilities in employment, transportation, public accommodations, state and local government services, and telecommunications. Two sections of the ADA relate to employment. Title I. Employment prohibits covered employers from discrimination against people with disabilities in all employment-related activities, including hiring, pay, benefits, firing, and promotions. Covered employers include private businesses, education institutions, employment agencies, labor organizations, and state and local government entities with 15 or more employees.
The Rehabilitation Act authorizes funding for various disability-related purposes and activities, including state vocational rehabilitation programs, independent living programs, training and research, and the work of the National Council of Disabilities. It also includes 3 sections that prohibit discrimination against individuals with disabilities by specific types of employers, federal agencies, employer business contracting with federal agencies, and programs receiving federal financial assistance. This chart presented by the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows employment distribution of individuals with and without disabilities. Unemployment percentages: with disabilities 16%, without 6%.
A national charity whose executives earn 6-figure salaries used a legal loophole to pay disabled workers as little as 3 and 4 cents an hour, according to documents obtained exclusively by NBC News. An NBC News investigation recently revealed that Goodwill Industries, which is among the nonprofit groups permitted to pay disabled workers far less than minimum wage because of a federal law known as Section 14C, had paid workers as little as 22 cents an hour. Now, newly obtained federal documents show that at least 13 Goodwill franchises in 10 states paid 140 workers even less. According to the Department of Labor filings acquired via the Freedom of Information Act, 2 Goodwill franchises in Fort Worth, Texas paid 51 employees less than 10 cents an hour in 2011, with 14 earning just 4 cents an hour for tasks described as assembly. This may have been appropriate in the 1930s, said Terry, but in this day and age with the advances of technology, healthcare, and education, is this the best we can do? A spokesperson for Goodwill International Industries countered that it was misleading to cherry-pick low wages, calling them extraordinary situations. Section 14C of the Fair Labor Standards Act, which was passed in 1938, allows employers to obtain special minimum wage certificates from the Department of Labor. The certificates give employers the right to pay disabled workers according to their abilities, with no bottom limit to the wage. Terry also spoke about putting an end to these sheltered workshops. We want to support people with disabilities to find integrated employment so they can fully participate in community life, contribute to their company's bottom line, and have a full life, said Terry, who chairs the council's sub-minimum wage and supported employment committee. It's time these sheltered workshops be phased out. In an earlier interview with NBC News, Goodwill International CEO Jim Gibbons defended time studies and the Section 14C approach. He said that for many people who make less than the minimum wage, the experience of work is more important than the pay.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
Because my coach treated me like everybody else.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because a mentor believed in my potential.
Is why I am where I am today.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed I could.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I led my high school team to 2 championships.
I am a valuable employee.
I have a career that I am passionate about.
I will be whatever I want to be.
What can you do?
What can you do?
Like all young people, youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.